so many family members and friends to cancer. And every time I would go to a funeral, I would feel an urge in my heart that I wanted to do more than just give somebody, take food and stuff over there. I wanted to help get the information out there. I wanted to help with early detection so that families could get their loved ones into the doctor's offices and the hospitals in time, because it hurts when you lose someone, especially when you can go and get tested ahead of time to see what your odds are, or to see if you have it. Like the mammograms and stuff save lives. When you can get these tests done, that was my goal with the cancer thing, and it was to allow the shows and programs that I did was to allow those that have cancer to come out and say, look how I survived. To come out and encourage the next people to give their testimony, to be honored for just surviving, to be honored for surviving. That was my mission. That is still my mission. I haven't been able to do the programs though. I mean the singing part in 2 years, but I'm still working behind the scenes with those that are battling cancer and heart disease, even down to anxiety and depression and suicidal thoughts and stuff. I'm still working with families that are going through that, and I think it's just something that God gave me to do, that He knew that I could do it even when I didn't think I could do it. And it was just so natural for me just to be able to encourage somebody, or just tell people where the resources were that they needed. It was like I'm a human 411 thing, something like that. And I'm a prayer warrior too, so they was like getting everything they needed at one spot, And I never had any regrets of doing that at all, ever. I've never had regrets of helping anyone. And I could just go on and on about it, but when you have a heart of compassion, it's just like it's just that you just operate off in love. You operate off in love, and the word of God, and the more the word you get in you, the more you learn how to handle situations and share that with others. At one time, it did become overwhelming, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. God, why you put me here? And I had to take all that back. I was like, no, I didn't mean that, God. I didn't mean it. I liked it. I think at that time, though, I just felt like I was alone in some things I was trying to do, and I felt like nobody understood what I was trying to do, and nobody wanted to come on board and help. But then I realized those that I was suffering with, I would get with these people who were going through and just suffer right along with them, to help them and to motivate them and to relieve them of their suffering in the best way that I could, even if it wasn't for nothing but for a day. Give them relief to where they wouldn't have to worry about a certain thing, a certain bill. Sometimes, I was able to give money. Sometimes I was able to give supplies, whatever we had raised. That's what I would give to them. I mean, it's just, my heart is saddened on kind of that though. I mean, I feel the love. I don't think I've ever met anyone that I did not really have a heart for, honestly. Even this guy, he was racist one time. I was with a racist guy. One time we were giving out the dialysis bags, and he didn't know we were black women. He didn't like black people. But by the time we loved on him and we let him, he was like, what is it going to cost me? And we was like, it's not going to cost you anything. we just want to help you. We heard that you was you were taking dialysis treatments, and so we just want to be a blessing to you. It doesn't cost you anything. And this man, right then and there, you could see his eyes just get full of tears, and he actually gave us a hug. And we already knew he was prejudiced because the person who signed him up for our program had already told us ahead of time. So you see, God can work in so many ways that, I just can't even explain it all. When you act kind to people, kindness can bring people back to life. Gentleness and patience, when you operate with that out of your spirit, it can bring people back to a place that they thought they could never get back to. It helped me. It was like someone showed me love. And when I got that love, I was able to do things that I never would have dreamed of doing. But because someone took time to have interest in me and show me love, and I passed it right on. I passed it right on, amen. And that's even like when I was a little girl. We was in the Girl Scouts. My sisters and I were, but we wasn't the richest family around. Daddy was working hard as he could, and Mama was working too. And the house had just burnt down probably 5 years before. So, everything was tight. It was tight. But when we got in the Girl Scouts, Mom and Daddy didn't pay that fee for us. It was actually a woman. She was a white woman. I never forget her. Her name is Miss Carolyn Shaw. To this day, because of her kindness and gentleness for what she did for our family, by paying our way in the Girl Scouts when we needed clothes, she would bring us clothes. When we needed vacations and we couldn't take vacations, she would give my mom and dad a break. She'd say, look, I'm going to take the kids and we're going to go swimming. I'll take them out to eat and all that stuff. And because she did that, she had a heart of compassion. When I got older, that's what I wanted to do too, was to help others. And that's what I still continue to do, because she showed us love. And she wasn't the only one. It was others too that would show us love. But she's the main one that I remember so well, that she was just there. You hear me? She didn't try to act bougie. She didn't try to put nobody down. These days you go stand in the food bank line, which I have done that recently. And people talk so hateful to you. What you doing here? It's a lot that you have to go through just to get that little food. And you have to go through a lot of people who are kind of mean to you, and they're supposed to be church people. They're church people. It's given out at the churches, but the people are so mean whenever you're standing in those lines. And it's no wonder that, the people that go there, it's no wonder they don't change. That's why they go and do what they do, because they're reciprocating what they're getting. They get attitude. Guess what? They give it right back to them. The next thing you know, programs like that, they get pushed out of the way. So what I try to do whenever I do programs and stuff, take up money and stuff or buy supplies, is I try not to have no restriction on it. Because for the most part, I already know the people who I want to target, as far as who my heart is desiring to help. I pretty much be already knowing that, so I don't have to go through that, and they don't have to go through pulling out IDs and stuff like that. Every once in a while, depending on what we're doing. Now, when we do the swimming thing, now we do take names. If it's a field trip or something, we do take names and get permission slips, just for the safety of those that are with us, or in the program. Other than that, no. We pretty much just gonna, like this year, I'm so excited about this year. This year, we pretty much just gonna collect some supplies and stuff, and we are going to hand them out to the elderly and get those kids some things. We got We do senior Santas. We're senior Santas, and we're gonna be handing out the elderly's little gift bags and stuff with socks and gloves and scarves, and I don't know what else we're gonna put in the bags. I mean, it's just whatever we get donated in. That's what's going in the bags, and we are going to really push and just listen. This is what we're gonna do. We're going to really just get out here in these parking lots and see some of the senior people that we know are doing bad or, don't have it like that, and just hand them the bags. We're not going to have them come out in the cold and try to get it and stuff. We usually have a Christmas party, but our building got took down last year. Our building got sold, so that's throwing us to get back on foot and get in the streets and do it, and take some of the locals some gift bags to their homes, those that are sick and shut in. We're just doing a little something. We ain't even trying to do nothing big. We ain't trying to outdo nobody. We're just trying to do a little something to make a difference in somebody's life. That's all it is. We're just trying to do that. I'm blowing because I was starting to cry again. But yeah, we're just trying to make a difference in somebody's life. And y'all got to excuse me if you heard me just kind of suck up a while ago, because I have been sitting here crying because my heart. It's like when you see a good person go down and you feel it too. You feel it too. And so I'm just praying for his family. But if you know organizations that do get out here and help people, don't be afraid to donate to them. Just get with an organization that you trust and go ahead and donate and help them out, because it's not easy having a charity organization. And most of the time, charity organizations run off of your donations. Mine runs off in donations. And when I can't get donations, I actually just go in my pocket, me and my sisters and whoever else is on my team. We just usually put our money together to buy the things that's needed to get out. Even if we can't serve but 10 people. We're not no large organization. We're small. Even if we can't serve but 10 people, 5 people, that's what we do. We do it. So this holiday season, don't just think about yourself. Get out and help somebody else. Families out here suffering. And I'll tell you another thing too. The one thing about having a heart of compassion, you can know people are using drugs. People are selling their food stamps and stuff like that. But when you see a need in that household, you do not look at those things. You do not look at those things, how they have messed up. You still go to that person and you love them. And whatever you have for them, you still give it to them. Because when they come out of that season or what they're in, they're going to remember what you did for them. And that's going to be that's part of their process. Is someone coming up saying, well, hey, take this bag here. They know they own drugs. You don't have to remind them that they're on drugs or that they're out here prostituting or anything, or that they're a stealer or a felon. You don't have to remind them. They know exactly who they. As a matter of fact, they probably know more who they are than you know who you are. But the thing is to be a cheerful giver and give from the heart and bless them, and it will change their life around. It will change their life. At some point, that token of love is going to take root. I'm going to tell y'all the honest truth. It was a guy, his name is Pete. He's dead now. He died of a tumor. But Pete was awesome. He was one of the meanest fellas around here, I think. He was considered to be one of the meanest fellas around here, in and out of prison all his life. On drugs, bad. And, most people would turn him down because he had a bad reputation, of stealing and a whole bunch of other stuff. But one day, he came to my door and he knocked. And he asked for something. I can't remember what he asked for. But he asked for it and I didn't have it. And I said, but you know what? It was around Thanksgiving time. I said, you know what? How about you come back here? If you ain't got nothing to do, come back here and eat Thanksgiving dinner with me. So this is what happened. He came back for Thanksgiving and he got his plate.